Shifting focus here now, once again the Indian currency has dropped to a lifetime low. Now the rupee has breached the 78 mark after touching a record low of 78.28 against the US dollar. Now this fall comes amid fears of a massive rate hike by the Fed in the United States. Now meanwhile, the Indian stock markets also followed, spooked by the fall in US markets on a Friday after US inflation rose accelerated to a 40-year high. Now the Sensex plunged to 1700 points while Nifty dropped to over 500 points.
Data that was reported at a 40-year high, and on account of that we had a massive sell-off across the US markets. That has of course had ripple effects into Asian hours as well. Of course, what market participants will be watching out for is the fact that last week we had the RBI policy, and this week we will in fact have the Federal Reserve that is going to meet, and the expectation is of a 75 basis points hike. But what will be more important is the commentary or the future outlook that is given by the Federal Reserve Chair. Some of the other instruments that have had an impact on the equity markets is the dollar index. Once again, it has crossed above the 103 mark, and the US 10-year yield also, after dipping below that 3% mark, is now back above 3.2%. Back home, we also have seen weakness for our own currency. The rupee this morning has touched lifetime lows of more than 78 to the dollar. So these are some of the broader market instruments that have been plaguing the market.
On that note, it's a wrap on this edition of The Big Story. News and updates continue on the other side. Thank you so much for watching.